What's up, YouTube? This is Jesse450, finally bringing you another review. I don't know why I'm saying finally, but this movie review is actually a double feature. It's two movies because they are related. They're both superhero movies, and both of these are really late. So, and one of the movies isn't even in theaters anymore, and the other one probably still isn't in other theaters anymore, or in some theaters it's probably been dropped. But this is just to let you know my opinions of them. The first of the two being one that's probably out of every theater because it was so bad. Fantastic Four. Good God. That movie was awful. It was like... I guess it was made by Fox. It wasn't actually made by Universal like it usually is. It was typically a Marvel and Universal team up. This time Fox bought the rights to the Fantastic Four and made another bad Fantastic Four movie. They can never seem to make a good one. I didn't like the first two either, but this one was definitely the worst of the three. Were some things it had over the original one. They just like. Let's start off with the plot. Okay, so the plot, it was on the direction to be a great movie. It would have been really good had they just not cut the plot off right as soon as Doctor Doom showed up. Like, he shows up, everything that was important before then just went away, and this was like, oh yeah, let's fight this guy. And they beat him, and that's the end of the movie, essentially. And they stole the ending from Avengers. I'm sorry if there are any spoilers in this, but you probably should not watch this. And if you want to see how bad it is for yourself, fine, but it's not like it's going to be important. But, they stole the ending from Avengers Age of Ultron, essentially, because at the end, spoiler alert, they're in the Baxter building, and they're trying to come up with a team name. This is like almost immediately after they beat them. They get like toured into this building they're going to work in and stuff, which is the Baxter building, like a job and stuff. And so they're, well, it might not have been the Baxter building, but they were like at a new job place, and they were like looking out at something, some room. And so they were thinking of like team names, like Susan Storm and the other guys or something like that is what they're all saying. And eventually, once they just stopped talking about it for a second, uh, Reed Richards, aka Mr. Fantastic, says, "We sure have come a long way since that day in the garage when we were kids." Which you would know what that is if you see the movie. And excuse me. And so the Thing, man, something's in my throat. The Thing says, "I know, it's fantastic," and then Reed goes, "Say that again," and he says, "I said it's fantastic." And so he turns over to Susan and Johnny and says, "Guys, I got it. And it cuts it off there and goes to credits. If you saw Avengers Age of Ultron, you'd know that's practically stealing the ending from there. They're using the same method. And, like, as I said, the first half of the movie was on the direction to be great, minus, with the exception of some bad acting. But aside from that, the story was like on track to be awesome. But they just like chopped it off. They had a battle, then the movie ends. It's like most of it is plot, like all the way up through it, but it's like good plot and still has things to keep you interested. Then they find out the one guy's still alive. Chopped the thing off. And just chopped off the storyline there and just went, they fight this guy, they get a job, the end. Like, Reed's love with Susan stuff, that's chopped off. Johnny's relationship with his father, that's chopped off. And just everything just disappeared. All the plot disappeared, which was just not good. But, as I said, the acting wasn't all that great either. Good Lord, I'm sorry. Another thing is, there were only two actors I recognized. The guy who plays Mr. Fantastic. Just give me 1 second, please. Anyway, the guy who plays Mr. Fantastic was in the Divergent series. I know that, and the guy who plays the Invisible Woman, Kate Mara, is in House of Cards, the Netflix series. Those were the only ones I recognized. But anyway, so overall, in terms of plot, it was on the right track, but it chopped it off. So I'm giving it a 7. If you actually closed up the plot, it'd be good. In terms of superheroic / action, there's only one fight in the whole entire movie, and it's less than 4 minutes long. So I'm gonna go with a 2 on that. So overall, I'd say I'm gonna give it 4.5 out of 10. And then the second movie is Ant-Man, which our theater still has. We don't have Fantastic Four anymore because that is not doing well. It was a bad movie. I'm going to stop talking about it, hopefully. But Ant-Man was actually really good. Ant-Man was it was so plot focused. It was so much more plot, because his powers can't exactly make up for a whole lot of action and stuff. But that leaves so much more room for plot, and it made up to be a great movie. Because it's not nearly as much about superheroes as it is in the other ones. Because it's more about, the guy's name is Scott. His relationship with his daughter and his ex-wife and his ex-wife and his ex-wife's new husband / his daughter's stepfather. And, so it's and then Dr. Pym and his daughter, and then Dr. Pym and his former prodigy person. I forget what the word for it is, but it was there was so much more plot in this movie than most other superhero movies, which was awesome. Because in terms of plot, most superhero movies are meh. But this one was awesome in terms of plot, as even aside from the superheroics. I mean, most of them have cool superhero plots and stuff, but this one was so much more personally focused than others. As the guy's trying to cover his mistakes and try to make up for them and try to win back the ability to see his daughter again and stuff. That's what the whole movie's about, and so that was really cool. In terms of action, it was a little bit dry, but that's to be expected considering it's Ant-Man. It didn't really want a whole lot of action in that one. So, in terms of plot, I'm giving this movie a 9 out of 10. In terms of action and superheroics, the action was kind of dry, but it was cool seeing it in such a smaller environment and such small things being so epic. As you see in the trailer, the Thomas the Tank Engine train being a full-size train. That eventually becoming an actual full-size train. In terms of action, I'll give it a 7.8, since it's not because the actual fighting itself isn't really all that interesting. But overall, I give Ant-Man an 8.7 out of 10. Because it was a good movie. Well, no, I wouldn't give it an 8.7. I'd give it an 8.9. 8.9 out of 10. It was a really good movie. I really liked it. Because, when I left, I was just man, that was awesome. Whereas when I left Fantastic Four, I was just fuck. And so, I'm gonna say, yeah, 4.5 and 8.7. Thank you so much for watching. That being said, please remember that my name is Jesse, and I would really appreciate it if you'd consider liking, commenting, subscribing, and then having a wonderful rest of your day. Thank you.